Hey, so this is going to be a really short, yeah, pretty short, pretty short stream. We're talking like 10, 15 minutes. So there's a good chance if you blink, you'll miss it. All I'm going to do is read a monologue for Midsummer's Night Dream. Midsummer's Night Dream? Midsummer's Night Dream. Something like that. So I've read the play about three quarters, and I listened to it completely. I gotta probably read the rest. I gotta say, I'm a little funky on this one. Okay, I'm not an actor. Ever, ever, ever have I acted. Never, ever, 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 ever have I ever. Never have I ever um, acted. I've never tried out for anything. I've never. It was not even to the extent of some casual thing that you do with friends. I've never even, I don't even think I've ever done any improv-y stuff, you know. Maybe once I did do something that was kind of improv-y. But ultimately, that was just some friends sitting around a room and we were just playing a game, I think, and it had improv-y parts. It was weird. But it was like, it's not really acting, right? I mean, not really. But I've been watching a couple of movies lately, and as I've said this in previous streams, I've got the bug. I believe I can do it. I think I can get up there and monologue. Not to say I'm going to get a part. If I get the part, it will be in, I think it's the last weekend of January, February. It's like it runs 2 nights, I think. So it's not a big thing. I'm not even going to monologue for a major part. I'm actually thinking one of two people, Aegeus, who's the father of Hermia, and I thought maybe Theseus, the Duke. I thought about Oberon, but his part's too big. I don't want to. It's too much. Besides, I can't quite read Oberon. I've read a couple of his monologues, and he's got some big monologues, big parts, and it just feels, I don't know, I can't get the rhythm of what he's doing. So I do like, I mean, Oberon's part is pretty meaty, and I always feel like, well, if I'm going to go for this, might as well go for a meaty part, right? Fact is, there's going to be more experienced actors who could do this stuff better than me. My best shot, get a small part. So the thing I've been reading, okay, as you can see here, I've got several of my things up on the screen, which include things like, let's see, I got to put something here. Just throw down some tags. So let's see. Here's some of the monologues for this play. Now, the monologue, the audition I have is a 5-minute window. It's only, they want you to do at least a 2-minute monologue. So I don't even know how long this is. So if I read this out, the question's going to be: does it even take 2 minutes? I mean, you know, they want roughly 2 minutes. Probably. I think it's going to be at least that. But you can see Oberon's got a couple of potential. He's got 3, 4. He's got at least 4 potential monologues here. Now, I also have. Oops, probably shouldn't have done that one. Okay, let's go here. I have in my emails. Let's see. I don't think I have any mails here that I don't care if you see, but let's see. They have. Now I don't know what. What is this? Why is this not showing anything? Monologue. Monologue. I don't know why this is not showing any mail. My mail's not present. I think it's only on my phone for some bizarre reason. So that's gonna make it difficult. But I thought I had my phone, you know, allowing anything to come across. But let's go find it. There was another site that had some of it. Now, okay, so the director is Michael J. McGraw. Yeah, I don't know if anybody knows who that is, but my audition is at on Friday the 6th, this weekend at 8:40. And yeah, so they did give some things. We got Monolgue resources, the dailyactor.com. Let's go to that one. dailyactor.com. And they kind of said they would prefer if we did Shakespeare. Now, I don't know enough Shakespeare to actually just do some random Shakespeare, right? I mean, this is supposed to be comedic. It'd be interesting, you know. Wait, what? Oh, this just takes you to a whole bunch of resources. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, okay, so I'll just do this one. So anyway, there's Theseus, who is the Duke, right? So the Duke is, he's in it at the beginning, he's in it kind of at the end. You can see he's in Act 5. Aegeus has got small parts. He's got one early. This is it. This is his big monologue, right? So he's Hermia's father. That's it. That's his whole piece. After that, he's got like maybe 5 lines. It's not much. So if you survive this in the play, you've made it. You're done. You've made it all the way through the play. With the exception of a couple times you got to come up for various things. Theseus, though, the Duke, he's got a few different things going on. I mean, he's got a scene where he's at the very beginning. He's like the opening scene with his fiancée Hippolyta, I guess it is. And then he's got some parts later on where he's got that part at the beginning, and then he's got you know, Act 5, he's in here. You know, he's got a couple of parts. And I don't know. I mean, let's see. No, I guess he's only got one monologue in this list, anyhow. I wouldn't want to do Lysander or Demetrius. They're both young men, I think, in this story, and it's just kind of like not my thing. And as youthful as I look, I'm not a teenager about to be married, so that's not going to be the one. So it comes down to either Theseus, Aegeus, or Oberon. And look at Oberon, man. Oberon's got like, I mean, he's got multiple things going on. There's at least 4 possible monologues for him, and that means you're going to be acting. You're going to be doing a lot of parts. And then I mean, you kind of have to do a voice, right? I mean, you kind of have to be something of a, I mean, maybe. I mean, I guess you could do a voice, but Oberon is a king, right? He's going to be, I'd say he's even quite possibly full of himself here, right? Because he sounds like he's kind of a player. He's kind of cheated on his wife. At least that's the impression I got when I was listening to the play. At least his wife thinks he's cheated on her. But he's a fairy. He's a fairy king, and not fairy like gay, but he's a fairy king, and um, I don't know. Let me do. I'm gonna do Aegeus. Let's do Aegeus for now. I got to pick one and focus on it. I'm thinking I want to do Aegeus because it'll be the easiest, and I can go, phew, done. But if I get the part, we're talking about September, October, November, December, and January. We got 5 months, Friday nights of practice. So, not that bad. Maybe I could learn more lines. It's like maybe I could learn more lines. But all right, so here it goes. Like I said, this is going to be pretty quick. I've already talked for 10 minutes. This will take like 2 minutes. Now, basically what this scene is, the setting of this scene is he wants his daughter to marry Demetrius. And she's in love with Lysander. He's not thrilled by this, of course, because he feels his daughter should do what he wants. He's his father. He is legally allowed in this time and place to decide who she marries. But of course, she's saying no. So now he wants to talk to the Duke and say, "Hey, Duke, help me out here. I need you to tell her to do this, or else I want there to be repercussions." And he suggests possibly even more severe things like death. But ultimately, I don't know. Is that, maybe that's just a scare tactic. I don't know. But I don't, in the play, and when I've heard people play this, and the problem is I'd want to play it slightly different. In the plays that I heard, he's a jerk. Aegeus is just a grumpy man. He's full of himself. He thinks he should have his way. And he is just insulted even that his daughter would even consider doing not what he said. And he's just angry about it. He's just downright angry. My feeling is, as a father of a daughter, who I wouldn't mind if her boyfriend was willing to ask me for her hand, if and when that happens. Obviously, it's not really I have any say, but more that it's a sign of respect, not only to my daughter, because he's showing respect for her father, but also to show that he does truly feel like it's important that the father approve of the marriage. And like I said, I don't really have any say. My daughter is going to marry who she wants to marry when the time comes. But it's what do you call it? It's just a respectful thing. And ultimately, it'd be nice to know who this person is. And yes, I might question the person, whoever it is, when it comes. To feel them out, make sure my rubber stamp is truly, not going too rubbery, I actually do something. But again, it may never happen. Won't happen that way. But I can feel for this man, all right, that he wants his daughter to honor his preferences. In this case, obviously, he's not going with what his daughter wants. And for whatever reason, he's insulted by that. And I guess you have to do it like, but my thought is it's different. I feel like he's more hurt. It's more bothering to him, and even to the point where, yes, he wants the Duke to help him push her in the right direction. He's got to do it forcefully enough that it is urgent, that he truly is feeling this way or no way. But at the same time, it's not a angry father, I won't say not angry, but not hateful father. Just one that feels his wishes should be honored above even his daughter's. Full of vexation I come. Oh, I always say I come. See, I can't read Shakespeare on the first try. This is like the second or third time I've read this, and I always get it. I always say I come. Full of vexation come I, with complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius, my noble lord. This man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander. And my gracious duke, this man hath bewitched the bosom of my child. Thou, Lysander, thou hast given her rhymes and interchanged love tokens with my child. Thou hast by moonlight at her window sung. Thou hast by moonlight at her window sung with feigning voice verses of feigning love, and stolen the impression of her fantasy with bracelets of thy hair, rings, gauds, conceits, knacks, trifles, nosegays, sweet meats, messengers of strong prevailment and hardened youth. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart, turned her obedience, which is due me, to stubborn harshness, and my gracious duke. Oh, see, and this is where he kind of changes who he's talking to. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart, turned her obedience, which is due me. Okay, see, I've totally read that wrong. See, this is the thing. Okay, so, okay, let's try it again. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart, turned her obedience, which is due me, to stubborn harshness. And, my gracious duke, be it so, she will not hear, before your grace, consent to marry with Demetrius. I beg the ancient privilege of Athens. As she is mine, I may dispose of her, which shall be either to the gentleman or to her death, according to our law, immediately provided in that case. You know, not great reading. I got to read it like 15 more times, 20 more times, and then I got to start having it write itself to my head. So I'm going to do it one more time, hopefully a little bit more smoothly without the blah, blah, blah. Now, they said I don't have to memorize this. I think it'd be cool to memorize it. It'd be cool because it'd show that, you know, I'm serious. Because you come in trying to read it off paper and you're doing this bit, it's going to be a little bit more flawed, right? Because if you actually have the words in your head and your thoughts in your mind, when you speak it, it's easier. It's kind of like singing a song, right? If you're trying to read the words, unless you know the words as they come, it's hard to sing with emotion and fully commit to it, because you're too busy trying to read the words. You want to know the words. Okay, so we'll try again, and then this is it, and I'll be on to something else. Full of vexation come I, with complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius. My noble lord, this man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander, and my gracious duke. This man hath bewitched the bosom of my child. Thou, Lysander, thou hast given her rhymes and interchanged love tokens with my child. Thou hast by moonlight at her window sung with feigning voice verses of feigning love, and stolen the impression of her fantasy with bracelets of hair, rings, gauds, conceits, knacks, trifles, nosegays, sweetmeats, messengers of strong prevailment and hardened youth. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart, turned her obedience, which is due me, to stubborn harshness. And, my gracious duke, be it so she will not hear, before your grace, consent to marry with Demetrius. I beg the ancient privilege of Athens, as she is mine, I may dispose of her, which shall be either to this gentleman or to her death, according to our law immediately provided in that case. Well, at least I got through it in one try, right? So, I didn't stumble too much. But yeah, I got to do that a bunch of times this week and try to learn it. I don't know. I'm leaning on that one. Maybe I'll try another one. But first, let's kind of get through one, and we'll see where I go from there. Okay, till next.